Hello, hello. All right, so this is where we're going to get down and dirty into the campaign, ad group, ad, headline, description, all that shit, all that creation. I'm going to do it with you guys. You can take this stuff, swipe it, deploy it. It's been working really well. This is going to be the USDA video. If you skip the keyword research and you just jump straight to this video, uh, because you're a go-getter and you want to get to the good shit, that's fine, right? I'm going to show you everything in here. So yeah, this is the same campaign. I'm actually going to drag this one over here. This is the same campaign that I built for a guy in Texas. And you can see from the 1st of January to March 22nd, this is that time period. He spent about $3,200 in ad spend. Click-through rate, 11%, which is insane. That means that your ads and headlines are very, very well matched to what your borrower is typing in. Okay. Conversion rate, this is the landing page conversion rate, so 18%. Now, these are long form leads, so about 10 to 15 questions is what they're filling out. It's a long form questionnaire. You got 453 leads in that time period and $7 cost per lead. He closed about 15 of these so far. 15 of them so far. So, nothing crazy, about a 3% close rate. But a lot of automation on the back end. You need good systems to be able to kick out all the junk so that you're just focusing on the good leads. And so, yeah, 15 so far. I have a feeling that he'll probably end up closing, another 10 to 15 out of that, because he has probably 40 pre-approvals in addition to those ones that closed. Okay. So let's dive in. All right. I'm going to drag this over here. We're going to create our campaign, guys. And this is this is the exact same campaign that I'm using and that I'm building for the USDA side. So, hope you guys like it. So what you want to do, off to the left, if you go to campaigns, you're going to click create campaign, hit new campaign. And as I'm going through this, there's a few methods that you can do. You can use broad keywords and phrase and exact match, all under one ad group. You can break out multiple ad groups with different themes. And you can even break out like 50 different ad groups, so that you have the highest quality score possible. That typically you really want to do that when there's lower search volume, and when there's very high competition, and you want to stand out. But if there's not a ton of competition, the cost per click is low. You can get away with putting a bunch of keywords into one ad group. You just want to make sure, if you're doing broad match, that you have a shitload of negative keywords, which down below the video, I'm going to give you a swipe file. It's going to be all the headlines that I'm going to show you here, all the descriptions, and a list of like over 300 negative keywords that you're definitely going to want to have so you don't waste any money. Okay. So here, choose your objective. I always select leads. Yeah. And then I select search. Okay. I don't really care about this right here. And then I will name the campaign. Let's go with USDA campaign. And now the conversion actions, we're going to set this up after, in the next video. That way you can track and make sure that you are bidding on the keywords that are bringing in the most leads that are the highest quality. Okay. But we're going to hit continue here. And then bidding, it's going to say focus on clicks. It doesn't allow you to focus on conversions until you set up your conversion tracking, which is fine. We go back and we edit that. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And then all networks recommended. Google recommends this because they want you to spend as much money as humanly possible. I do not recommend this because we know what we're doing, right? We're gonna be able to set this up and direct everything as an expert, and so we're gonna bid on the keywords that are gonna produce the highest ROI. So I definitely get rid of display network, and 90% of the time I'll get rid of Google search partners. This is really just Google has some partner sites that if somebody's typing in a keyword, somebody could see your ad on their partner site. I get rid of that. I just want people that are going to Google. Okay. So I uncheck those. And then down here, all territories. So this is the location. I mentioned it in a previous video, but you want to hit enter location and then hit advanced search. I would highly recommend starting out wide. So when you start out wide, typically that means statewide. Um, if you want to go to an individual county within your state, you can. I wouldn't do city. I wouldn't do zip codes. And if you do zip codes, you actually do start to approach like redlining laws. Google will flag your account. So counties is the most narrow that I would go. So if we go to Georgia, for instance, we type in Georgia, going to give us a whole bunch of options here. Um, select statewide. Again, I do highly recommend going statewide. You just get the most amount of leads. But if you want to go to, maybe just the Atlanta area, go down to where it says, so this is DMA region, but this is county right here. Okay, so Fulton County, if you select that, target that. Still a ton of search volume, 14 million. That's what it gives you. Okay, so your ads would show up for people that are located in this area. I don't like that, to be honest, so I'm actually going to go radius, and then I'm going to do a radius around Atlanta, 20-mile radius, see what that gives me. It's a little bit more what I'm looking for. I'm going to get rid of that. Maybe let's go like 30 or something, see what we get in there. Oh, that'll work. Now I like to see a minimum of like 2 to 4 million in search volume for USDA or first time homebuyer type stuff. With investor loans, because the search volume is a lot lower, I like to see something closer between like 5 and 10 million. That should give you enough search volume to get enough leads. So we're going to go ahead and hit save there. You'll notice I click location options. We don't want to do presence or interest. We just want to do presence. So again, Google just wants you to spend as much money as possible. So they're going to recommend all the things that will make you spend as much money as possible. But you really just want to target people that are actually located in that geographical region that we highlighted with that radius. Okay, so hit presence, and then go ahead and hit next. And then this is where we're actually going to create the ad group. Now for USDA, I'm just going to show you guys what we did for and what we've been doing for clients. It's just one ad group, and we're going to do USDA qualification. That's what we name the ad group. Okay, so the way it works is there's a campaign, then there's multiple ad groups. Within those ad groups, there are keywords and ads. For the USDA setup, it's very simple, just one ad group, one ad, and a bunch of keywords. So the keywords that we've been using for the other client, again, I'm just going to give you this shit exactly. So we have USDA, and then as a broad match, and then we have USDA loan. We have USDA home loan. USDA, and this is slow, eligibility. USDA house. USDA qualification. USDA mortgage. USDA qualify. And USDA lender. Woo-hoo. Now I would do the state too. So over here, I would do like USDA, in this case, Georgia. And that typically will hire, if you have a state with and the keyword that you're targeting, typically you're going to get people that are in like the middle to bottom of the funnel. Now you'll notice some of these are in quotes. You'll notice some of these don't have quotes. Sometimes like for the next video for DSCR loans, I'm going to have some exact matches. Now the reason that I'm doing some broad match and some phrase match, broad match is basically a category of search terms. So, for USDA, if someone types in, USDA home loan, or USDA mortgage qualification, your ad would pop up underneath that keyword, because it's a broad match. Now, be very, very careful with broad match. If you use broad match, Google will. It's basically like the most loosely correlated setup that you can have. So, like if you do USDA house, for instance, down here, somebody could type in, "How do I get a house?" and your ad would show up, right? Like, so that can be dangerous unless you have a shitload of negative keywords that are in the campaign. Again, there's a PDF below that you can download for the negative keywords. There's 360 something of them in there, so it kicks out all the junk that you don't want. So in this case, we can do broad match with these keywords, and we can do phrase match as well. So these are the keywords. And for the final URL, this is where you would type in your site. And in this case, hopefully on your site, this is going to be like a USDA landing page. It's going to give people information, and you have a lead form that's able to capture these guys, either like a form field lead form or a survey style questionnaire lead form. That's kind of beyond this video, to be honest, but Get Lead Forms is a great software that you can integrate onto your site. It's a very smooth survey style questionnaire, but you want to be taking these guys to a USDA landing page for sure. You don't want to be taking them to, some generic ass landing page. You want to have the language specific to USDA. So final URL, this is where you're going to type in the URL that you want to use. For this, it's going to do www.changemex. Because we're not going to actually be showing this to a site right now, just showing you guys the exact setup we use. Display path. Here, I would type in the keywords that you really want to target. So like USDA dash home, and then over here we can do loan. Okay, so we're trying to we're trying to match the keywords in here in the display path. This doesn't take them to this URL. This is just what shows over here when people see your ad. So it's just a little bit more relevant, and Google will typically rank your ad higher. So for the headlines, where do I have these pulled up? Right here. So for the headlines, what we want to do, best practices here are, oh, just switch screens. Uh-oh. So let me get back over here. Best practices here are to use the keywords that you're targeting up here in the actual headlines themselves, and use call to actions in here to be able to get people to click to get them to your landing page. The goal of the ad is not to sell. We have the best rates or whatever. Like, I mean, you can't really do that anyway, right? You get slapped with some fines, but the goal of the ad is to get people to click onto your landing page so that you can convert them. So here we're just going to be using very relevant search terms, and strong call to action. So what I have here is I have USDA pre-qualification. I have mortgage pre-qualification. First time home buyer. Guys, you can change up some of these headlines if you want to. This is just what we're using, and this is working really, really well to generate leads. We have check your USDA eligibility. God, that word is so hard for me. We have how much house can you afford, right? We're talking to them with a question mark. Questions work really well in this. We have qualify for a USDA mortgage. Add headline, add headline, add headline. So you'll notice that this is now starting to bump up our ad strength, right? We want to have either average or excellent, average bare minimum. So we call it for USD mortgage. We have book an appointment, right? Because on the landing page that I was running for this guy, there was an appointment booking option, so that he could just get appointments directly to his calendar, which was sick. How to get a home loan. We had how much house can I afford? Okay, so you'll notice we have how much house can you afford, how much house can I afford. Um, what Google is going to do is they're going to cycle these headlines, and they're only going to show up to 3 at a time, but sometimes they just show 2. So Google is going to match the best headline that's performing the best, based on the data that it's getting, how many people are clicking on the ad, how many people are actually converting on the landing page. So we want to have a few different options here. To be able to have Google cycle through them. Okay. So we got, for this case, if you're a broker, I would put in here, like Georgia, USDA broker. I would put Georgia, USDA lender. And then the last one we have is USDA home loan approval. Okay. This was at Ho loan approval. This is actually one of the highest performing headlines that we had here. Okay. USDA home loan approval. Now for descriptions, these are the ones that were crushing it for us. So copy that over here, paste that. Find out if you're eligible for a USDA loan. All right, and then getting a mortgage made simple. Okay. So these are the descriptions that we had in there that perform really well. If you guys don't like any of these, you can tweak them, you can change them. The descriptions are going to help, but really the headlines are the biggest piece of this. Okay, this is where you can just flesh out what you're actually offering, and so these perform well for us. Now for USDA, we did not do any site links, we did not do any call outs. We didn't do any images. Google will have promotions, prices, calls. If you want to add a number here, you most certainly can. We did not do that for this. We didn't add any structured snippets, lead forms, or apps for this one. Now, we did for some of the other campaigns that were working really well, but for USDA, we ran this, and across the whole state of Texas, we were the top performing advertiser by a fucking moonshot, compared to everybody else with just this setup. Okay. So you don't need to fill out everything. If you want to, you can, but this worked really well for us. And yeah, then we're going to go ahead and hit next. And it's going to ask you for a budget. I would recommend $1,000 a month on average. If you want to start lower, you can. That's fine. I just have, for clients that work with me, I recommend $1,000 minimum per month for advertising. That way they can get a ton of leads. This is funny. So 208 clicks. Weekly clicks. That makes sense. Yeah, 200. That's pretty accurate because this campaign, I mean, we were getting about 150 leads a month for $1,000 in ad spend, which is crazy. So over here, we're gonna hit next. And then this is going to give you a little review action. Confirm it's you. Great. You're gonna have to log into your Gmail on your phone. 87, eh? And this is the Gmail that you use to set up the account. Yes, it's me, 87. Great. Checking for errors. Huh? Keywords and ads. Let's check the ads. It's giving us a little bit of a flag. The keywords, I don't think are what's holding this up. I think it's more so the ad piece. And I think it's because of, let's see here. Destination not working. Yeah, that's fine. So this, obviously, it's not going to work because this is not real, right? But you can still save this, and then when you do, you can go back, and then you can pop in the actual URL for this. But what happens is if you do save this, oh, they don't let you anymore. Interesting. Okay. I'll view that. Edit. It's going to change this to the site. Go.com. Again, this is fine. We're going to pause this right after anyway, so that we can finish everything out with the conversion tracking and all that good stuff. Okay. Pushes us through. Publish the campaign. And yeah, so again, we just set up a whole ass campaign for you guys. This is going to be, I hope helpful, to be able to get some leads. I mean, I know it's going to be able to pump out leads for you guys. If you guys have dialed-in systems on the back end, you're going to be in good shape. So, for this, I'm going to go back up to campaigns here. Going to exit out. See what we got. USDA campaign is on. Going to pause it. Okay. I don't actually want this to run. But yeah, so hope that helps. The negative keyword portion is important. I'll mention that. If you go over to keywords off to the left and then hit negative keywords. Sorry, that's across all the campaigns. We're going to go back here. Got a few template accounts or template campaigns in here. Okay. So we're going to click on USDA campaign. Let this load. Go to keywords, negative keywords, and there's none here. Okay, so what I want to do is actually paste a bunch of keywords in here. You hit plus negative keywords. I would do campaign, and then on that negative keyword sheet that you guys download, you can just copy the column all the way down, 365 keywords. Hit Control C, go over here, hit Control V. It'll paste all the keywords in here, hit save, and then that way you're going to be protected from a lot of the junk that could come through with broad match keywords. But because we've been doing this for a while, we have a lot of the insights on what to avoid. So hope that helps. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. The last thing you're going to want to do if you do want to do USDA is go to the tracking video where I show you how to set up all the tracking for your website, so you can actually track conversions and see which keywords are producing the highest quality leads. Okay. So I'll see you guys in that video. Thanks. Bye.